access from the chairperson of the Electoral Commission as the returning officer of the December 2020 presidential elections. Ghanaians were hoping to hear her testify, and many are still baffled by the refusal of Mrs. Jean Mensah to be held to account by testifying in this case, unfortunately with the unanimous agreement of the justices of the Supreme Court. The vital part of the process to establish the truth and hold Mrs. Mensah accountable was blocked time and again by a protective cordon and firewall that I'm sure has confounded many Ghanaians. The refusal of this chairperson is in sharp contrast to the readiness with which Dr. Kwadwo Afari-Gyan, then chairman of the Electoral Commission, willingly testified in the 2013 election petition filed by then candidate Nana Akufo-Addo of the MPP.
Adia wa my way chiri eye no kore. O kan no kore o problem. Wa my way chiri eye no kore. O kan no kore o problem. Bi wa my way chiri eye no kore. O kan no kore o problem.
Imagine a small country like Ghana. We can use $100 million and over to build a church, cathedral. But we can't get $100 million to build a proper hospital, a proper medical center, so that when our finance minister is sick, he can go there. They would rather go to America, go to UK, go to South Africa when they are sick. But use over $100 million to build a church. Masa, wait, Jimmy. If this is not humility, then I don't know what is Jimmy. This is stupidity to the highest level. That we will use all this money, over $100 million, to build a church. But when we are sick, we travel outside. Jimmy Sana Corona Pro.
I am quite surprised that the teacher unions are speaking now. The teacher unions have been very, very loudly silent for almost 2 years when a curriculum was changed without textbooks. The teacher unions are supposed to be writing this morning lesson notes. The teacher unions are supposed to be instructing the students. They don't have the handbooks. They don't have the manuals. They don't have nothing. The textbooks has just been listed on the website of NACA. But the real textbooks that they're supposed to be teaching
itself,
with, they don't have it. They kept quiet about it. Nagrat, name them, all of them. They kept quiet about it. So what are they instructing the students with? Now they are suddenly interested in hair. They are suddenly interested in hair. And as the boy says, be more interested in what goes into his brain than what is on his head. So teacher unions, if you have the mouth and the voice and the loudness to be talking about hair, talk about the textbooks that are not in the schools, because your job is to teach the children with the textbooks. So talk about the textbooks. You have been loudly silent on this. So talk about the textbooks. Teacher unions, talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about the textbooks. Because for 2 years, it is not normal that you have a curriculum change, you don't have textbooks, and even the JSS department has not been trained on the new curriculum, and you're running the system, and you have kept quiet, and suddenly the question of a hair, hijab, religion, faith comes up, and you found your voice. Shame on you.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure you disagree, but that's not the point of the interview. Let's come back to Domelevo. Where does what has happened to him leave the president's credibility in terms of anti-corruption?
As for the president's credibility in terms of anti-corruption, I'm afraid to say it's in tatters. It's been in tatters for a while, but this puts a nail in the coffin.
The problem we are having are the leaders.
Even me as somebody, I'm saying it publicly that if they can just do mass burial for all our leaders and let we the youth start ruling, you will see that everything will go the way it should go. Our leaders are our problem. I'm telling you, they can come and arrest me. If they should kill me, 1,000 people like me will still stand in this country. So that's it.
Asorebe na oko.
Ikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Ah, okay. Nina asorebe na oko.
Ikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Ah, okay. Nina asorebe na oko.
Ikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Ah, okay. Asorebe na oko.
Ikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Asorebe na oko.
Ikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Ah, okay. Asorebe na oko.
Ikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Asorebe na oko.
Ikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Ah, okay. Nina
Wasimi ya mimi ni madia fa ho adwa ya adwempa nya adwempone se me money da so ne asumdie ene awie ye pa Ewurade Yakopon nua satra ne nyame ba wo ye nyamia Abona nyagmanum
Sikana she. Sikano ashe.
Program with the IMF, the public sector is full in terms of employment. We can't employ anybody in the public sector. It is full. And indeed, it is full. Perhaps we may have to even lay some off.
Given the resources at its disposal, one should expect at least 4 to 5 times the quantum of investment that the NDC claims to have undertaken. The close to 33 billion of borrowing that has not been used for infrastructure expenditure could have done so much in this country. If you take $33 billion and ask yourself, what could you have done with $33 billion? You could have solved the water crisis in Ghana. You could have solved our energy problems. Every region in Ghana would have had 1,000 kilometers of asphalt road. We could have transformed agriculture. We could have put in place a world-class hospital in every region. We could have bought 1,000 ambulances for the Ghana Ambulance Service. We could have equipped our existing health and education institutions. And we could have built an additional 600 senior high schools that the government is trying to build currently. And we could have constructed the Accra-Kumasi Paga railway line as well as the Western Railway line. And with all this, we would have still been left with some money.
Or ridicule in terms of his marriage status. They, those who are doing it in parliament, please, it is a big blow to Mampurugu. If we will come out one day to express our dissatisfaction with some of these things, the man can marry even up to 10 because apart from being a Muslim, that limits him to 4. The chieftaincy gate giving the chance to marry even up to 12. So those of you who might have the chance of listening to this one, please, you are coming from different communities. It is a big warning coming from northern region. Even the NDCs are aware that this one, we are not taking it lightly with people who are returned to ridicule with our brother in parliament or any place. We are not taking it lightly. So, Honorable Alban Babin, we respect you enough. He's having one wife called Her Excellency Samira Bawumia. Whoever she was married to, be it there was a problem, there's no problem. It is not your cup of tea to be bringing it on air, because married, you can divorce and go back for your wife. And it is not a taboo in Manpugru. You can decide to throw away your wife and go and pick your wife. And per the position and the loyalty that he's coming from has given him the nod to marry even up to 12 and beyond. So please, who are listening on Joy News, please stop it, because one day you will call for a war in your area that you will not even be there. Please, he is not an object of ridicule.
Monhwe ekwan na esi anipa ntimi nkọ no manso kwasiaba enipa to nkwasiaba mpanimfo zole aka akase anonim to muntimi nya kwan nipa ne nam fom aka abetima ekwan asi nipa nkọ ma ese nipa ya leda ka ma ka ntimi mesene nkọ kwasiafo ama mpanimfo nkwasiafo ene mote asiafo
ya ye mobo wogana etisikaso o menya ohia mai Nenam amemua enkoye ntino. Ekomde. Ya ye mobo wogana. Etisikaso o menya ohia mai. Nenam amemua enkoye ntino. Ekomde.
Enkwasi aba ye sole ane ye to. Monhwe ekwan na esi anipa ntimi nkọ no. Manso kwasi aba enipa to nkwasiaba mpanimfo zole aka akase anonim to muntimi nya kwan nipa ne nam fom aka abetima akwan asi nipa nkọ ma ese nipa ya leda ka ma ka ntimi mesene nkọ kwasiafo ama mpanimfo nkwasiafo ene mote asiafo
uni sana na da kwa kufa da Roma ye build train e na fansuo so seriously ya beri trade na fansuo so tie be fansuo so deshe omo Europe UK ni Holland ni ade omunim trade fansuo ni ade enche kra misana na do de fansuo so no ba omi aso de ba fansuo na se di e kwa no Eurostar yes yeah
from London to France
me no kaze si ya no akaka na omo wie
sikana she sikano ashe sikana she Sikano Ashe.
Fellow Ghanaians, once again, good evening. I have come into your homes once again to urge you to take the protocol of mission serious. I'm talking about the social distancing, washing of your hands, and wearing of the mask. Fellow Ghanaians, once again, good evening. I have come into your homes once again to urge you to take the protocol of mission serious. I'm talking about the social distancing, washing of your hands, and wearing of the mask.
Mokoto Komanje for that matter. Itawo no go on paper. Itawo no go on the ground. No for no ba fe do ka juba yo ba o. In the implementation, there are two things: implementation and what do we call it? I will not go back on the ground. So they get if you're short cutting, ground breaking. So what is the difference between ground breaking and short cutting? You want me and get block after and get knife cutting instead of short cutting. We're going to what we call it blade cutting. You have a launching. From launching there, we go to what? Commissioning. From commissioning, we go to scissor cutting. We have a short cutting, or ground breaking, or knife cutting, or blade cutting. You want to get you now. You have a short cutting. You have a knife cutting or blade cutting. Yeah, after self-send again, one another.
Ameke wanye wafe ni wafe. We straight them from Tamale to Wale every day. Abodo bidi keleba, ske keba, abodo bidi keleba, ske keba, abodo bidi keleba. Rap day and a rap day. Then today we not go delay and not go delay. Nobody don't want to like a fly like a plane. Babylon when show Chando, show Babylon say this our place. Stand by while I cash at Awale, I'm a fair late. Yendi agro, bra. Me chawo, Mokono kaka kebo jibo. Keleba, skekeba, abodo bidi, keleba, skekeba, abodo bidi, keleba, skekeba. Keleba, skekeba. Na bodo bidini, onglini, some bidini. Well, man should do him, and voodoo him. Wakamebawo kuntulabing, la rengo. Go, master, kakamba. Walala bajajibo, Jenny, wong beda.
Sorry, by now,
Bikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Sorry, by now,
Bikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
Sorry, by now,
Bikwa Church of Christ.
Church of
Christ.
What's the minimum of Jama found home? I try to pay out the some money that's one year soon. And here you pa. And what did I coupon your satra? Then I may buy. Who is